Kenny Pickett is by far the most interesting quarterback prospect in this year's draft class because just a year ago today, he was projected as a 5th or 6th round pick and he had 39 total touchdowns in his 4 years playing and his 3 years starting. His hands were too small. He has really good but not elite arm talent. He has really good but not great mobility, and he was seen as a backup in the league at best. And now just 1 year later, he over doubled his touchdown total in his senior season with an additional 42. He was a Heisman finalist and is projected to be the top quarterback taken off the board in this year's NFL draft. He bet on himself, made huge improvements to his throwing motion mechanics, studied a ton of film, got quicker and more accurate through his progressions, and had the best season yet by far. But we have to acknowledge this because this story seems eerily similar to that of Joe Burrow's. Almost scary similar. The crazy last season of college, all the doubt beforehand, but out of college, Joe Burrow had solidified himself as the can't-miss #1 overall pick and was further ahead than Kenny Pickett currently is, and Kenny Pickett hasn't proven to be the can't-miss prospect yet, but we can't look at a season like this anymore as a fluke or having no merit being considered because of previous seasons, and he should be considered as a legitimate first-round quarterback and even a first-year starting quarterback, because we have to understand if you're a 4th or 5th year guy, teams are only going to have more and more film on you, which shows us even more direct cause that is play improved from previous seasons and not defenses not knowing his game or play style. So as the Panthers, Steelers, Saints, Commanders enter the draft, possibly taking a quarterback in the first round, we need to get into Kenny Pickett's player profile. We'll look at some film, go over his strengths, his weaknesses, and where we think he should be drafted. There's a lot to talk about, so let's get into the film. Kenny Pickett, being 6'3", 220 pounds, has great size for a quarterback, but his best trait, in my opinion, where the Joe Burrow and Derek Carr comparisons come in, is he wants to sit in the pocket, goes through his progressions, and just take the defense apart. But if the offensive line loses their one-on-one matchups, like they did here against Tennessee, he's able to break the pocket, but he does a great job maintaining being a runner, keeping his eyes downfield, and actually making this cross-body throw in the back of the end zone. This is an NFL-ready throw. This is an NFL-ready progression, and this is what he made huge improvements in his senior year, where as he escaped the pocket, he was able to maintain and be a passer and deliver absolute strikes. And if you have a guy like this that can just run your offense the way it's intended, but if things break down, the defense gets a free rusher, he's able to attack the line of scrimmage, make the defense choose. I love this right here. He attacks the line of scrimmage, threatening to take off and run the ball, flattens it out before he crosses the line, maintains being a passer. And so with a guy like this, with a guy like Mahomes, like Joe Burrow, the play is never dead. This is the first play. The defense does a great job breaking it up, but his ability allows for the second play to happen and cause for a huge gain and a first down. And on this play, Virginia dials up a beautiful blitz from the nickel, and this is going to be not on Kenny's blind side, but his progression read is going to be left, middle to right, so it is kind of his blind spot because he's not going to see him right away, but his ability to stay poised in the pocket, see the blitz, and this is where his size really comes in, because right now this is a free rusher. He's able to dodge him at the last second, barely even phased by him, be able to have a strong lower body, keep his eyes downfield. This isn't the craziest throw in the world, but the ability to go through your reads, make the right play, extend the play is what makes Kenny Pickett such a highly touted prospect. And you're not going to have quarterback design runs with Kenny Pickett in the NFL, but guys like Mahomes, like Ryan Tannehill, Joe Burrow, Derek Carr show just enough wiggle to make people miss in the pocket and pick up huge conversions when the play really breaks down. And this is what I think makes him a dual threat quarterback, not in the sense that he's going to be like Lamar Jackson, but like these other guys that are able to extend plays and pick up first and third down conversions with their legs when the defense breaks down the field. But he really did do a good job breaking his tendency to break the pocket too early in his last season, and he also has very good ball placement. If you need him to sit down in the pocket, he improved his accuracy, and he has a beautiful throwing motion. If we can just look into this, with pressure coming in his face, he's able to step into the throw, his upper body stays very level, and he delivers an absolute strike. This isn't elite Justin Herbert-like arm talent, but if you can make throws like this, you can survive in the NFL. And these are throws I like to call to hitting these skinny posts with perfect ball placement. If you can make throws like these are good enough for NFL teams. And having a 67.2 completion percentage in his senior year means a few things. One, he got a lot smarter through his progressions. He was dinking and dunking it a little bit more, but he also trusts his arm and he trusts his accuracy with his improved throwing motions to put the ball in the exact perfect spot it needs to be. Beats the safety coming over the top with his arm talent and puts it in the perfect spot so the corner can't make the play on the ball, and puts his receiver in a spot where he's the only person that can make a play on it, throwing this beautiful touchdown pass. And no matter how you want to look at this play, this is absolutely beautiful. Whether you think he's looking left to right through his progressions and throwing it late across to the back shoulder fade, or whether you think he's looking off the safety to throw this because this is what he wanted to throw the whole time, the ball placement is absolutely perfect, leading to the receiver his outside shoulder, protecting him from the safety, and really allowing him to not need all the separation needed, even though he does have a step on him. This is perfect ball placement and an NFL-ready throw. And it's not like he's sitting back there with all day to throw, so he's going to take the snap, look off the single high safety to the right because he knows he wants to throw this fade ball down to the left to the bottom of your screen. But with pressure in his face coming, he knows he's probably going to take a hit. He's able to deliver this absolute strike, put perfect ball placement on it, and I just love to see this translation because we did not see many throws like this in his first few seasons starting at Pitt. And Kenny Pickett throws a beautiful deep ball. You're not going to see him throw it 70 or 80 yards down the field. You'll barely see him throw it over 55 yards in the air, but he puts beautiful arc on it. It's going to be right in the breadbasket. The ball pretty much catches itself for his receivers. And with his improved mechanics, it's been a lot more consistent. It's almost a perfect spiral every single time, so it's going to be very consistent in that terms where it's not going to be all wobbly and off 2 or 3 yards. So again, not having the most elite arm talent in the world, but working on his mechanics. His form just looks flawless, and he's able to put these huge high arcing balls perfectly down the field for big gains when the defense allows it. In this section of the film analysis, I'm going to call good but bad. It's where he displays a lot of his strengths and his really positive traits, but also things where we'd like to see improvement. Staying really calm in the pocket, going his progressions left to right. When the pocket breaks down, he rolls out to his left, keeps being a runner, but he sees this right now. He even points to his receiver right here. This is who he wants to throw it to, and the ball needs to be out right now. This is your landing spot. Do whatever you have to do to put it in the back corner of the end zone. This is going to be a very easy touchdown, but what he does is he holds onto the ball too long, as we're going to see, an additional like 2.5 seconds, still converts on the touchdown, so it's really hard to complain about a touchdown, right? But again, he saw it early, he saw it develop. You have to trust yourself, let the ball go right now, and it's a much easier touchdown pass. Or on this play at the top of your screen where we're going to have a double slant right here, and then we're going to have the H-back go out in the flats, and this is the read right here. He just wants to hit this slant or this H-back coming out into the flats. But again, we're going to watch his drop back, and it's not an ideal one because as soon as he gets the ball, he's almost going to backpedal backwards. He's not really taking a drop, but he's going to see the inside slot receiver. He's the one that's going to be open on this play, but his hits aren't squared up. He's not ready to throw this ball, but he throws it anyways, off platform, off his back shoulder, is actually very accurate with it and gets the touchdown. So again, this plays into his strengths of being able to throw off platform through awkward angles, which I saw on his film as I was watching it, but being ready to throw any ball, have your shoulders squared, and as soon as you see this doesn't have to be as hard as it can, but you could see this as a positive where if it's not going to be like this in a game and it is going to be, he's able to make throws like this. Or just being more consistent, being firm and strong in the pocket, because right now in the NFL, this is enough room to step into a throw. He's going to throw it off his back foot with an awkward angle, but right here in the NFL, you're going to step into this throw, you're going to make it, and you're going to take the hit. He's able to launch it down the field, and he is going to get like a 45-yard conversion, but this needs to be a touchdown. He has the arm talent to make this throw if he steps into it, but since he throws it off his back foot, the receiver has to slow down, turn around, and still make the catch. And so again, just being able to stay, if you know your read's going to be there, step into it, and this is a touchdown because reads like this don't come that often in the NFL. And just trusting your arm to really let it fly, because in this case, he does have a clean pocket. He is going to be able to step into it, and he makes the throw. He throws it short, and if we can see this, this would have been a touchdown right here. If he leads his receiver, he clearly has to slow down for this because he has all the separation in the world to go and score a touchdown right here. Throw it out in front of him. Let him get this. And so that's, again, it's really hard to complain about a 45-yard completion down the field, but if you have a clean pocket and you have the arm talent to make this throw, just let it rip. Put less air under the ball. Make sure let your receiver get rewarded for beating his man. And these last 5 plays that we're going to look at very quickly are the honorable mentions of things that are worth noting. They kind of fit the overall theme of this video where he's able to kind of break the pocket, reestablish himself when he sees it's clean, deliver a strike across his body, across the field for a touchdown, or on a play like this where he's going to be able to drop back with pressure in his face, come back to his read on the out and up, deliver a strike for the touchdown. For being able to throw off platform against a better team, the windows are going to be very tight when you're playing a team like Clemson. I believe that's Andrew Booth Jr. Jr., I think. Or you're not going to have the biggest arm talent, but if you can make throws like these right here, these intermediate 15 to 20 yard fields across the middle, you don't have to have the biggest arm in the world. We see guys like Mac Jones and Joe Burrow who don't have the biggest arm in the world or don't have the upside like a Trey Lance or a Josh Allen. But if you can complete throws like these in rhythm with consistency, you are going to be absolutely fine in the NFL game if you're confident in your arm. And a few other things I wanted to mention that I think should be added into this video is he played very big in clutch moments. He also played through injuries during this season, which is huge. You're going to have to play through injuries in the NFL and perform at a high level, which he did all year long. And when games get tight, we saw Joe Burrow be able to step up. That is an intangible that doesn't get talked about enough because, I mean, we do see guys like Aaron Rodgers who this year didn't perform big in the playoffs, but Joe Burrow was able to step up and play his best ball in the biggest minutes, regardless of how their stat sheet looks like at the end of the game. When it comes down to the end of the game, you need to play big. So no, he's not going to have the upside of a guy like a Josh Allen or a Trey Lance with this ridiculous running or throwing ability with the biggest arm in the world, but I could see him being like a very Derek Carr-like player, which is Mel Kiper's comparison to him. I don't think he has a big of arm, but he probably has better legs. Joe Burrow, their play styles are very similar. We're not quite elite with arm talent, not quite elite in mobility, but you're a smart football player with a lot of experience behind you and with huge improvements to mechanics. If you can be consistent and accurate and quick with your progressions and leads, I think he is going to be fine at the NFL level. But that's what I think about Kenny Pickett. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure to like this video if you like videos like these. Comment down below where you think he should be drafted. Which actually, I don't want to be hypocritical because I have to give you my opinion. In my opinion, he needs to be the first quarterback taken off the draft. I think we saw this success of quarterback work at the next level, and I think you can really build a franchise around it. So whatever team, if you're the Steelers and you have someone in front of you, go up and trade to get him because he is going to be the best quarterback in this draft class. But let me know what you guys think and make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you so much for checking out the channel. And as always, I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.